So I thought about it, and I am going to reprint this. I'm gonna make the all the screw holes bigger. I'm gonna fix the pie mounting problem so you don't glue it to the body. Although I still might, just because it gives extra support. But fix the power issue. But yeah, I just don't want this thing to fall apart when I'm out there. I really wish I put in the seam, but this thing is so broken. And also the curving and everything, it's hard to guarantee that it lines up. I could have put seams on the straight parts. But yeah. And overall though, I really like how it turned out as far as the weird shape. Like, it's so chunky. It's interesting. I'm looking forward to diving into the software part once it's fully assembled. I verified all the parts are linked up, which is what I have to do next after I fix this charger problem. So this is odd. The problem seems to be the DC-DC boost converter. Because when this is plugged into there, this turns itself off. When you disconnect it and you just measure the probes, it's fine. I'm gonna test the DC-DC boost converter with the constant power out regulator, or a benchtop power supply rather. And I'm gonna see if it works from that. Maybe there's a short that's like protecting itself, or maybe this DC-DC boost converter is bad, because it was in a drawer like this, so it's possible it's faulty and I put it away for a reason. You would not believe how long it took me to find this, but here it is. So if you didn't know, what you have to do with these is you plug it into a source, like that thing there, and then you have to turn this potentiometer until you get the output you want, like 5 volts, and then I put a dab of glue on there so it doesn't move. That's what's on here now, so I gotta do that for this one, and then swap the wires out, desolder that. Hopefully that fixes the problem. Okay, so that was the problem. The DC-DC boost converter was bad. Right now it's putting out 5.06 volts, so that's good. Here's the old one. I'm gonna write bad on this. That would be funny if it was written on it already, but it's not. So I booted it up. No magic smoke. That's good. I got SSH in there and check all the peripheral. Yeah, that's not the right word, peripherals, but everything connected. Like the OLED works, the IMU works, all the buttons are connected. And I'll seal it back up. I feel like I know all the things I have to fix. I'll make a video to remind myself. But yeah, I'm definitely going to reprint this. It's going to be a pain to take this thing apart because I did start gluing things down. Like the IMU is held down with hot glue, but at least hot glue is easier to undo than like epoxy or something. So yeah, I can't trust these screw mounts right here. Like, this camera is heavy, so I don't want it to like split apart when I'm out there. I still do wish I had the lip, because that's a nice seam when it comes together. I was just worried about these curves. I might add it on the straight, but yeah, in the future I'm going to use something like Fusion 360, so doing curved parts isn't so hard. This is so funny. Yes, it is working. I got a freaking login screen for Raspberry Pi, which the X11 server thing would run and open up an OpenCV window, and then it would render the menu, which is just showing images, and that's how you can pull in the live camera feed by sampling the frames from the camera. So yeah, that's great. Now I'm gonna SSH into this and verify everything is connected. So I showed the wiring diagram. So this is testing the buttons. I have to change all these GPIO numbers to match them, and then like print the value. So I'll just do that real quick. This is just a one-off script. It's not part of the camera software. So important thing to note is when you're looking at the pinout of stuff, these numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a difference between that. That's the board number and the GPIO number. So you have to, look at this like I'm mapping on the 5D joystick. Up is pin 7, which is GPIO 4. So in the code, I'm binding that. The comment on the right is old because I pulled this code from another camera. So this first test failed. It's running right now, and I'm clicking on the button like up. Actually, it might be reversed. But yeah, it's not picking it up. So I need to check the electronics connectivity and see where it's failing. So I measured the voltage at the resistor against ground, and the voltage is 1.3 volts, which is crazy. I guess this resistor is too strong. I put on this side it's 3.3 volts, on that side is 1.3. I think that's why it's not registering as a high. So I'm gonna cut that off and swap it with a different resistor. I'm not sure why it's so high. Maybe because it said 10k ohms, but it also said 0.4 watts draw. So I don't know. I need to try a different one, different 10k ohm resistor. So it's important to have organization because I'm literally sitting here testing a bunch of resistors till I find one that's 10. I found a couple that were 5 kilo ohm. Maybe those are good enough, but I'm looking for 10 specifically. Okay, I need to actually finish this project, or not finish, but get this part past this part. So I'm just gonna go with this one. It's a 5k ohm resistor. My gross hand, man. You know what this callus is from? I don't want to say I have OCD, but every morning I open my door, or not open. I double, triple check that it's locked. That's why I have a callus in my hand. Turning the knob. Pretty sus. Alright, 5k resistor is in. Let's see how this goes. Well, this is probably explainable with the P equals IR formula, but the output is 2 volts, so that still might be too low. I have to check. Okay, so new problem. The button is always on. As soon as I start the loop, it's high. So, what does that mean? So, it looks like there's just a short somewhere, because I switched to another pin, and if I test it, they're reversed, so I have to flip it. But yeah, pulling up, it's starting, stopping. That's expected. So I gotta check that pin. I don't know if there's a short or if the pin is not assignable. I gotta check. Monica Ching. That's a fun song. Earache. Originally heard it from Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke, when I was a little boy. Yeah, so what I did was I resoldered that. I think what happened is it was bridged to the pin next to it. So it seems that when the Pi is running, the pins have 3.3 volts on them. At least that's what I measured. And when I run the program, it pulls them all down, so there should be 0 volts. And then yeah, when I test it, it works as expected. See. So I'll just go through and do the rest, and I'll also verify the IMU and the OLED works. Dang, the middle one is not working. I'm not sure why. I touched the solder, verifies the right pin. I'm really hoping it's not the board, because the one I bought before, the middle click wasn't working. I'm going to check the continuity between the COM and the middle click. Might be the pin can't be used or something, I'm hoping. Okay, so one problem, which is unfortunate, the tactile buttons, the single buttons, I got the direction wrong. So there are these 2 parallel lines on the back. You have to orient them upwards, and then go across them for the switch. And it's unfortunate that I hot glued that in there, so I'm gonna have to tap that with the soldering iron to undo one of them. Alright, so I fixed that one. I soldered them vertical together. The one that still isn't fixed is middle click. I haven't figured out what it is. I did switch pins, but this one doesn't have the problem. It was just like a wiring. The circuit was always closed. I'm going to try and switch the middle click pin and see if that helps. Alright, so for some reason you have to like really hold it down for a while for it to work. If you watch there, oh, you can't really tell that. Let me clear it. Oh my god, where's the clear command? Clear. Now I'll run it. So I was waiting for the button, click. I'm gonna hold it. Like if I do quick taps, kinda shows up. If I hold it, you know. Which that's a sampling thing, but anyway. It just wasn't like fast enough, but it's working. So that's good. I'll move on to the IMU and the OLED. The IMU should be working because I had to fix the right bus. So if I hit go, yeah, it's pulling values and they're non-zero. Looks like it's not exactly on its, yeah, it's not upright. If you look at the IMU, it's like sideways. So if I tilt it this way, then the Z-axis should be 1. Close to it, yeah. See, now it's near 1. Alright, so that's working. Let's test the OLED real quick, which I put blue on here. So I'll just have this focused. I'm going to run the OLED command. Alright. Let's check this out. Oh shit, check out. Ooh. Every time I see like a piece of hot glue string or like a cat hair, I think it gives me like a panic attack. I think it's like a, not an actual panic attack, but you know, I think it's like something just caught on fire. I'm like, oh god. Alright, let's go. I had to dab my soldering tip real quick. Alright, hold that right there and go. What happened? No, it says input output error. No! No! We've got, oh, I switched the buses around. That's what it is. Alright, I switched buses. Hit go. Should be a nice blue. Oh, there's an error still. Crap. Okay, I see it. So these two up here are just flags, like on off, which one you're using. You have to change this right here, SM bus. So I switched it to 0 from 1. Now let's do it for reals. Random old country hit me today. Country song. She's got it all. Kenny Chesney. Alright, we go. Come on, baby. Oh, focus. Ooh. Dude, that looks cool in real life. It's freaking blue. Over time. That looks dope. It's like cyberpunk, man. How can I get that? I gotta get the contrast. Oh, I can't change the contrast once I start filming. Where's the dedicated contrast? Oh, look at how dark that is. Let's try this again. Oh yeah, you can see that it's blue right there. You know how you tell Chinese versus Japanese? The Chinese letters are like denser packed compared to Japanese. Korean's easy, there's like circles in it. Anyway. Okay, so at this point I've interfaced with everything. I'll just double check the camera works. The display definitely works. I'll put this thing back together. Man, I have to like reprint it, and I kind of want to keep it apart so I can make sure. But what I'll just do is like kind of put it together so it's in one piece, and then I can like write code against it. But then I will take it apart again when I do the design updates. Alright, so here's the internals mounted. The 3 Raspberry Pi screws are put in, so it's holding the board up. And you can see, like, I really just like did this quickly. I was like lazy, but you could, make this neater so there's not so much, wires. But I was trying to build it in a weekend, or 3 days rather, with the like 26-hour print time. Which is pretty insane. Alright, so I'm gonna put it back together, just screws. It's using these really thin screws just because the internal supports are so thin. I actually broke one of them already, but that's what I have to do when I update the model and reprint it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I will reprint it. I mean, I will close the OLED gap just because it's pretty big. I want it to be like a little tighter there. But like, other than putting some super glue a little bit on the edges to like really keep it together, it's solid already. And like, I really don't want to take this thing apart and reassemble it. But I will update the design files a little bit. Messing with the mesh sucks, so I'm just gonna fix the known problems. I don't like that line right there. What is that line there? It's weird. But yeah, it's it's like, it's weird. I look at it, I'm like, I don't like it, I like it. When you look at it with the display open, like, it looks legit. It's like, oh, what is that? And dude, this display is insane how good it is. It was $50, so it better be. But look at that. That's a freaking terminal for a Raspberry Pi, a Linux computer. It's so funny. I'll do a short where like it boots, shows the kernel logs or whatever, and then it actually pulls up Pelican. That'll be legit. But there we go. All the stuff's connected and ready to program. I did weigh it. The camera weighs just over 8 ounces. It's like 8.2 or something like that. So, half a pound. It's got some heft to it. For sure.